The categorization is very important when you are doing bookkeeping for your clients. The reason is 95% of the bookkeeping is where the categorization is, because if you are categorizing the transactions accurately, it will be easier to find what you are looking for and to plan ahead. Because if we find a transaction that how much we are going to spend on apps and subscription, and we have to reduce that as much as possible, because if we don't reduce that, there is no point in doing the bookkeeping would be the only reason for you to identify those transactions which are not relevant, which are overspending, and which are not adding up so much value for your business. So in this video, we're going to discuss on detail that how you can categorize the transaction and why you should categorize the transactions on. Okay. So here is just a normal look of the transactions that we usually have on a bank statements. It starts with a date on which the transactions occurs from your bank, and this is a description. This is the description of where you have spent your money, and this is the amount that how much you spent on that specific date of a transaction. So if we start looking at it up, and we have this amount, so how do we know that what are exactly the categories that we're gonna record those transactions on? So well, if we just discusses about IRS gives you a list of categories such as travel, meals, entertainment, advertisement, office expenses, supplies, payroll expenses, contractor expenses, advertisement expenses, contractor expenses. These are the list of the almost all of the amounts, list of all of the categories that you can record your transactions in. But this is just not the list. You can create subcategories of these transactions, and you can record them as well for better reporting. So what we have right now is we spend on something like called Uber. Where should it go? It should go to travel, because it's been used as a travel. We are using Google G Suite. So Google G Suite is some kind of a subscription that we have to pay each month. So it's like a recurring expense. So it will record in apps and subscription. We are spending money on apple.com. They might have got us a MacBook or iPhone from there, and we just have to pay monthly for those stuff. So either it could be part of recurring bills or down payment, or it can record it as office equipment, because MacBook are usually used for running your business. So we have Park Mobile. What does it mean? Park Mobile means that you have spent somewhere in the parking or something, and it should be part of the travel. So you can see there are like quite a lot of categories right up there, and some of the transactions might be a deposit, and some of the transactions might be an expense. So let's discuss a scenario right here. So let's say in the bookkeeping, we have a deposit coming in, and now any amount which is positive, that would be a deposit. Okay, and if any amount is showing a negative signs right with it, it's a withdrawal. So a deposit could either be recorded as sales or a transfer between accounts. Okay, and withdrawal would either be recorded as expenses or transfer between accounts, or in both cases we might have withdraw the money from the business and invest the money in the business. So at this moment we have like different transactions. So look at this one: JP Morgan, Chase Bank, FTR, Lulu, Guanfam. So we might have paid this person $1,600, or if the owner's name is this exactly, Lulu, then this transaction could be a withdrawal from the business. So it will be categorized as a withdrawal, a business withdrawal. So the description is what it made us to understand how we will record the transaction, how we will categorize the transaction, and where it should be categorized. So let's get this going and find out the categories that how we did it. Okay, and we can discuss more about. Let's unhide this one and see where it goes. So let me add a filter right there and select the transactions. So we have recurring authorized bills. We spend money on Spotify. That would be part of due subscription. Why? Because it's been incurred every month. And if we made any withdrawals, ATM withdrawals from your business, that would be recorded as a withdrawal from the business. So it will be recorded as a negative. So we have Wells Fargo transactions. So any transaction which are very less amount, like $5, $3, even $20, $30, the transaction might be wire charges, bank fees. So all those transactions which are there, we can record them. And if you have gone somewhere out to eat a dinner with a client, we can deduct that also. We call it meals and entertainment. And you can see we have one of the meals and entertainment right up there. We have grab something from the mart or somewhere. So, and any deposit that you might have got back, so that could also be recorded as sales. Look, we have like got a deposit coming up in our bank account, like 3,992, and that amount would be recorded as sales. So yeah, so that's a little list of the transactions that we have, and we recorded the categorizations for. And I hope you understand a bit about how we're going to do the categorization and what exactly the way is. And I hope you understand everything. Thank you.